So now that we know what TypeScript is, let me give you a little tutorial on how to use it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to install TypeScript. So we're going to do that by saying npm install globally TypeScript. And it's going to be a lot faster for me because I already have it installed. There we go, installed in 2 seconds, so that's great. Go ahead and clear that, and now let me write some basic JavaScript. So I'm going to write myself an enterprise grade application, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so here's my enterprise grade application. What I did was I created a variable called sentence, and I set that to a string called proud_cat_owner. And then I set up this function that returns, well, that takes a title parameter and returns a string saying welcome title, and then I log that to the console with the function, and I'm using the sentence variable as an argument. So let's go ahead and compile this. So there's 2 ways to do this. One is to just do tsc. What's the file name? Index.ts. So what that's going to do is it's just going to go ahead and compile that, and if I open up my directory here, or explore, it's going to show this right here. So if I just go ahead and delete that and then run it again, tsc index.js, it's going to go ahead and generate, and it's going to compile everything from TypeScript and generate a file with the code that we have. It's going to compile it into like ES5 because that's the default setting for the configs, but I'll show you that in a second. Well, actually right now, because I'm going to show you the second way to do this. So the second way, let me go ahead and delete this. The second way to do this is to run tsc-p tsconfig.json. So let me take a second to go over to that tsconfig.json. So what this allows you to do is it allows you to configure TypeScript and to kind of like mold it to however you want it to work. You can set a lot of things, but what we're setting here are the compiler options, and we're setting, well, one compiler option, which is the out directory. So basically like where we want this to be compiled. So I want it to be compiled into a folder called build, because I don't want index TypeScript and index.js in the same directory. So that's why I have this. So let's go back over to this index, and we are going to run this. We're going to run this little command over here, hit enter, and then if you look right here, it generates a build directory, and then inside that we have our index.js. Same stuff. So that's great. Let's go ahead and delete that again and clear that. And there we go. That is how you install TypeScript and how you use how you compile. So now let's go on to basic types. So like I said before, basic types allows you to add a type to your variable, function, so on and so forth. And what the benefit of that is so that you can so you wouldn't have unexpected types going to your variables, functions, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and give this sentence right here a type of string. Let me go ahead and space that out, type of string. And now let me go ahead and compile that. So tsc, everything's great. Go back over here, everything's fine. And notice that you don't see the string type over here because that's strictly a TypeScript thing. So let's go back over to here, and then let's try giving this a number, a type of number. Obviously this is not a number, so right off the bat my VS Code is going to give me an error saying that type proud_cat_owner is not assignable to type number. Let me go ahead and try to compile anyway. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get this error saying, the same thing that VS Code gave me. Type proud_cat_owner is not assignable to type number. So that's great. Let me go back over here and remove that type. You can do the same thing for functions. So wait, where would I add it? I forgot. Let's actually do it for the parameter. So title, semicolon, string. So whoops, let me actually delete, let me just remove the Explorer for more space. So I set the title parameter to a type of string, and since I set it to a type of string, it's only going to accept a string. If I change it to, like, say, number or Boolean, it's going to expect that. So that's cool. That is awesome. Now let us get into something different. Let's go a little deeper. Let's talk about interfaces. So an interface is pretty much a typed object. I'm reading it like right here, by the way. An interface defines the properties and its types for a concept. For example, a person. A person has a name and an age. And it could have a title. I kind of want to add this proud cat owner title. Both of these properties, well, all of these properties are related to a person. So let's create a person interface. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to delete this this variable right here, and then create an interface called person. And then inside that, we're going to have our name, have a type of string. We're going to have our age, have a type of number, and you're going to have a title with a type of string. Cool. So now by creating this interface, we now have all of the properties that we need for our concepts, along with their types. It can be used as a static or dynamic type for a person parameter in function welcome person. So this right over here. And we can access any property that we need from the interface. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a variable called, an object, and it's going to be in a variable called Travis. So I'll just call it my name. So we're going to say let's Travis equal just a regular function, regular objects, and I'm going to make the name Travis, age 22, title proud cat owner. I don't have a cat, by the way, so take that with a grain of salt. So here we are. Now we have me, an object of me, my name, age, title, and it's the same as the interface. So I can kind of connotate these properties with their corresponding properties in the interface. So now what we're going to do is for this right here, what we're going to, what did I do? What we're going to do is we're going to give it a type of person. So title, give it a type of person, which is my interface, right? And then down over here, we're going to say welcome person. No, wait, I shouldn't name it. I shouldn't be title. Let's make it person. And then over here, we're going to say person dot title. So it's going to access the person, which is actually not going to be sentence, but it's going to be me. So let's go ahead and change sentence to Travis. Whoops. Cool. So Travis, which is the person parameter right here, that's getting passed in as an argument into this function, and we are returning this string saying welcome person.title. Person.title is Travis, and the type of that person is the type of that property is a string. So person.title, yeah, you get the picture. So that's great. Let's go ahead and try to compile this, see if we get any errors. So clear, compile, perfect. And if I go over to my index.js, everything's cool. I have my object right here. My function. This is an error function, by the way. This is all, I'm using a lot of ES6. And yeah, so everything's cool. Like there's no types here because it's a TypeScript thing. Cool. So what's great about this is that I can just go ahead and make multiple different objects. So I can name this one, I don't know, John. Pretty basic name. Rename this to John. Age 44, and let's say he's a proud dog owner. Right, and let's go ahead and use these variables or these properties more in this function. So let's create a very creative sentence. So welcome person dot name. So welcome John. You are. You can tell my typing skills suck. Person dot age. So you are 22 years old and a person dot title. So proud dog owner, and then add a period. Go ahead and save that. Format everything. Welcome, John. You are 44 years old and a proud dog owner. So let's go ahead and compile that just to make sure things are cool. And there we go. It's pretty nice. So let's go ahead and let's just go ahead and run this. Why not? This is a TypeScript tutorial, but like, you know, why not? So let's go ahead and start Quokka. If you don't know what Quokka is, it just allows you to display certain things on the on your text editor. So console log welcome person with Travis, this object as an argument, and it says welcome Travis, you are 22 years old and a proud cat owner. If I change that to John HN, save that. Welcome John, you are 44 years old and a proud dog owner. So yeah, that's pretty much it. TypeScript is a really nice thing. It allows you to not pull your hair out when dealing with JavaScript in general. So all in all, TypeScript is a very nice thing. I hope you learned something. And actually, let me show you some other features of TypeScript that you might like. So let's go to TypeScript.com. I don't know if it's called it is called TypeScript.com. So there's basic types and interfaces, which we went over. There's generics, there's enums, there's symbols, iterators and generators. There's a lot of different things that you can go and check out. And yeah, I hope you go check them out. If you like this video, subscribe, consider subscribing, leave a thumbs up, whatever is great. And I'll see you in the next one.